Okay, so we have what we call fixed, regular, and adequate housing. This is what fixed housing looks like. So I'm just going to walk around. As Eric said, we had a PowerPoint. This is still considered homeless. Look, you have tarps on the home. It's fixed. You know, someone can live in it. It's completely covered. Right, it's fixed up. How many of you have gotten a chance to kind of ride through Panama City post-hurricane? This is what you see. They're living in tents, and that's what you consider fixed housing. This is still considered homelessness. A student may be homeless, and you know, every night this student's family is at a shelter. So they have shelter, they have bedding, they have a place to lay their head, but they're still considered homeless. And then depending on what area or what piece of town you're in, if you don't get to that shelter early enough, what happens? You're not going to be able to get in. And then this is what adequate housing looks like. I'm going to enlarge that. That's a house. That's probably a family home. Multiple generations have lived here. But it still may be unfit. It may not have running water. If it doesn't have running water, it's a homeless situation. If it doesn't have power, utilities, it's a homeless situation. How many of you have seen situations like this? These are our students. We need to be able to provide these parents and these families with services. Now, these are easy homeless situations to identify. Where you have, tents, living in tents. You may have to pick them up from a hotel or a local motel. Or some of them may be in front of a Walmart. If you ever visit the Walmart on Tennessee Street, how many of you see homeless children? Exactly, all of the time. Yeah, Pensacola, yes, all of the time you see the kids and their families there. And then sometimes the parents are actually using the kids to ask for money or support. So we see that. So these are easy to identify. Now we have situations that are not easy to identify. Our migrant children. They're hard to identify. Children that are awaiting foster care. Or children or families that share the housing of others. So let's say a family, especially I know our west side of town, was hit hard by post-Hurricane Michael. And so a lot of those kids and families may have lost their home, but they may be staying with a relative. They're still homeless because they don't have a resident of their own. So even though they're couch surfing or staying with a relative, we still need to be able to identify them so that we can help and provide services. All right, so how do you identify that? Well, they may not be at the bus stop every day. You may see them once or twice a week. There's an issue then if they're not at the bus stop every day. So they have poor hygiene.
And a lot of times they see you withdrawn.
And they see you withdrawn, exactly. That's one of the social and behavior concerns, exactly. And then, maybe not a parent there with them. It may be another relative. You were at one point seeing a parent, but now you don't see a parent there with the kid anymore. You may see another relative or you see the kid there by themselves. That should send up a red flag. So what can we do? Again, you're the first line of defense. Identify. Share this information, and Eric is going to pass out some literature where you can actually reach out to the district office homeless education department. Share this information or share it with someone, school personnel, principal, guidance counselor, and say, hey, I think there's something going on with this kid. Can you call this kid in and have a conversation with them? Or if you have built rapport or relationship with the kid, see if they will share information with you. And then just, as I said before, for more information, you can actually check out the Gadsden County Homeless Program over at the district office, or your first line is just to talk with the school personnel. Or if you can talk with the parent or the student, if you built a report, get that student to kind of share some information with you. Are there any questions?
Case where you may suspect something is going on with one of the students, what are the implications as far as questions? Like, you want to ask the student, do you feel concerned if there is something going on? If there may be, a case of defendants, like a homelessness situation? What are the implications?
It depends on, what is your rapport with the student? So like if you are, if you feel pretty confident with the student, I would ask the question, how's everything going? Or, kind of lure the kid in. Or if you kind of notice something about, you say, hey, I noticed you changed bus stops. What's going on? So just kind of feed to see if the kid will give you some information. But if the kid is not open to sharing, or if the student is really withdrawn, just share this information with school personnel. And then they'll be able to pull the kid into talk. All right, any other questions?
Like you say, at the hotel. So they tell us to take it to the hotel. That's automatic.
That's a homeless situation. That's a homeless situation, and so you should just, if you do know the name of the kid, not sure, or just when they just ask the kid, say, hey, what's your name? And then when you get a chance to drop them off at the school, if you see the school personnel, say, hey, I believe this kid may be homeless because I'm dropping them off at a hotel. All right, any other questions?
So right now, ma'am, a lot of is homeless because of the storm anyway.
Right.
So what Mark going to the hotel because that's the only place they got to go to. So,
Yeah, please, like, look for those extreme cases, as she stated. If you know firsthand that a kid is homeless, get that information, even if you can get it to Coach Gabe or Mr. Gabe. I call him Coach. So if you can even get the names of the kids to Coach, he'll make sure that he gets it to Eric, and we'll be able to provide some services for those kids. All right, any other questions? All right, if you're good, say I'm good. I'm good. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Henson. Okay, the last thing